where you're the star.
Hi guys, it's me, Angel. Are we on yet? Hi guys, it's me, Angel. I'm back. Woo, this is my first day back for the new season, and I took a hiatus for the last season. It was my 7th season, so I took it off as a season of rest. Anyway, I'm back, and I'm a little nervous, as you can probably tell. Things are going relatively smoothly so far. At least the tape is now running. I was a little worried that it wasn't, but it is. So, let's see. Now, what we do in this show, for those people who have never seen it, is we analyze your birthdays, and we talk to you about yourself. We actually analyze the signs of the times, because every time has a sign. And I can give you some examples, which I will do until we have a call. Let me put my number up, because we are taking calls. Hold on, gang. I do everything. It's a one-man show, except for push that button. Erica does that. Okay, there's the number right there, and we're live right now, as you can tell. Tuesday, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, March 28th. Okay. Every time has a sign. For example, right now it's between 3 o'clock. Actually, it's 3 o'clock. Okay, and I have a chart here that I developed, I designed, and I basically invented. And this has all the signs of all the times, including the time of day. So, for example, it's now 3:02, basically. So, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m., we're in the time period of Sagittarius, which is the tough guy. So I can expect some, in fact, we can all expect some really tough calls. But I'm going to do something different this season, and I should have put that up there. We're only going to take calls from people who are adults between 22 and 122. Anybody out there 122 years old? We're going to take your call first, if you call first. We will take them in order, of course. Okay, so let me think. In order to be 22, I should have done this before, but I've been so incredulously busy, so I didn't really figure out what year you have to be born to be that age. Maybe somebody can tell me when they call. Anyway, so this is the hour of Sagittarius. Now, I rename the signs because by month I use a different system than you're all used to. The newspaper system is a wrong system. It's a Ptolemaic system. It's a technical term. You don't have to really know what it is. We'll call it, for the time being, newspaper astrology. I don't use that. I use more of a biblical astrology. It utilizes the constellations rather than the signs. It's also more scientific. I'm born in the year of the scientist, so I have to always study and analyze everything. And I studied and analyzed the monthly signs and discovered that when I did that by the newspaper system, I was 25% wrong. Now, I don't like being wrong. I deplore being wrong. I get pissed off when I'm wrong. At myself, of course. So, therefore, I tried this other system that's been around forever. It's called sidereal astrology. It's the astrology of the constellations. And so a lot of people, signs would change in my systems. And so, therefore, I changed the name so that when I give people the name that I use for their sign, they don't get all rambunctious, and we don't have a whole hour's conversation about, oh, no, I'm this sign. Oh, no, you're not, because that's wrong. You're born in a constellation. For example, in my system, between April 14th and May 15th is the month of the warrior. What I call the warrior is the same as Aries. Now, the Oriental system would call that the month of the rat. So anybody born during that period of time is a warrior. They love to fight, they love to argue, they're very aggressive, and they usually know what they want and how to get it, and they usually go for it. And they have the gusto. These are the people who actually step up to the plate to go get what they want. And and they're pretty good at getting it. They speak up, they say what they think, they say what they want, and they ask for what they want, and they tell people what they want. They're leaders, so they're a little bit bossy. They are pioneers. It's the first sign of all. It's the first constellation in the zodiac, and so they are pioneers and leaders, and they love winning. They hate losing. They love to argue and fight. So they'll tell you, they'll oftentimes disagree with you, tell you that they disagree with you, and tell you you're wrong when they actually agree with you, but they just want to argue and fight. And there's several reasons that they do that. One of the reasons is because they learn a lot about people, about the way people fight and argue. So therefore they tend to want to do that a lot for that reason alone. But also they're aggressive and they like to push their ideas, and which is okay if you're compatible with a warrior. That's okay. And every other constellation away from the warrior is compatible with the warrior. Now, between May 15th and June 14th is the person that's always right. It's what people recognize as the sign Taurus, and Orientals would call the ox, but I call it always right because these people are very practical and very stubborn. And when they're that stubborn, it's because they think they're right. So, but in actuality, in a newspaper astrology, there's a different date for the beginning and the ending of Taurus, and because it enters a sign at a different date than it enters the constellation. We're talking about the sun now. The way that these signs are determined is where the sun is in the sky around the zodiac. Of course, the sun doesn't move, but as the Earth moves, the sun appears to be moving when it's actually standing still. But when the Earth moves to a certain spot in the sky, the constellation behind the sun changes. So the constellation, when we say the sun is in the constellation of Taurus, we actually mean that when we look up at the sun between, we shouldn't do that, by the way, but let's say we imaginarily do, and let's say we could see on the other side of the sun, well, the constellation of Taurus would actually be there. Now, the sign of Gemini, I call the constellation of the talkaholic. These people love to talk, and in fact they may be addicted to it. They kind of talk. They're so addicted to talking that they kind of have to talk, and they talk in their sleep. They do. They really do. If you know a sleep talker, then they have a talkaholic constellation type of personality, and there are other things, other factors besides the sun's location that determine certain personality traits and certain destinial traits, because destiny can be determined in certain ways by using this system, by using any system. But if you use the newspaper system, you're going to be 25% wrong. That's if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be more wrong than that.